Hey, what's up, guys? This is Big Russ with Road Trippin' RC, and today we're gonna do a little quick custom paint job on my new project. And if you can't tell, I've already off camera done a pretty slick fade. Um, my local Hobby Lobby had Createx Wicked Colors on sale. I picked up this Pyrol Red for half off. I've got Pyrol Orange, which I guess I paid full price for. Still $6.50 a bottle, not too bad. Um, Detail Yellow. Picked up a bunch of paints for like nothing, basically. I spent less than 40 bucks and re-upped quite a bit of stuff. Right now I've got some gloss clear mixed up so I can clear coat over things that need to be cleared, so we can lay out graphics, things that need to be cleared, like the battery tray, because this is going to get scratched up from putting the battery on and off. The cage, I'm not going to clear. I want it to get scratched up. This piece is going to be partially hidden. Again, it's going to get scratched up somehow. Roof panel, you know? Like, you know, it will be semi-visible. I plan on running the Toyota front end. Uh, this looks way more orange on camera than it is in person. The paint job is not perfect, if you can tell, and it doesn't need to be, because I'm going to mask off some graphics and the imperfections will be hidden. But we got to clear it so my tape doesn't rip up the paint, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get the camera switched around so you guys can see what I'm doing a lot better. Okay, so laid out in front of you is the Meus Ripper for the TRX 4M. As you can see, like, there's some blemishes here or there, whatever. Not worried, right? Because it's going to be hidden. Um, God, this is a clear coat. It is a very milky clear. Let's all right. So before I run anything through, I like to run a little isopropyl through my gun. Just helps make sure that there's nothing in there. And if you can tell, I don't put a whole lot in there. And excuse the construction noise. They're still working on the building across the street from me. And I have my window open for ventilation because I'm spraying alcohol, I'm spraying paint, And that's just not stuff you really want to breathe in. I know in some of my other videos you see me painting without a mask on, but I do have the window open, and they've not been working. So, you can see that's some milky mess. All right. I also painted up the Jeep parts in yellow. I didn't know which one I was going to lean towards. And laying down clear coat is unequivocally the most difficult because you cannot tell where it is versus color coats, obviously. And let's see if we can. Like, I can feel it hitting my fingers. But I do not see it. On the pieces. And you can kind of, it's hard to tell. Let's build up another coat. All right, so that's like 2 coats on everything but the battery tray. So I don't have many ideas for this. Outside of, I want to try to keep the fade on the side. And I think I'm going to use my Biddy Designs mesh because it does cover the panels fairly well. Um, well, we get the panels that don't need painted out of the way. So, as you can see, I can cross the hood like that. I can do it across the roof panel in either orientation. On the sides, it's a little trickier, but it's fine. I'm just running some water through my air gun right now to clear out the clear coat. And I still have plenty left to go over everything because once the black goes down, it's going to be a matte finish, and I don't want a matte finish on that. So you can see the shimmer on it now, right? Like, yeah, there's some like big lumps. The idea behind this paint job is it looks like a wrap, so there's going to be some imperfections. The Ripper is semi related to the MB, the Meus buggy. Let's let's see if we can get a good shot here. So the MB has more solid body rails, where the Ripper, let's see if we can line them up. You can see it's very similar. It's a little shorter front to rear. Well, rearwards anyways. This utilizes high trail rear suspension, where this does not. So, if anybody recognizes some of these parts, I've got my mofo links from the Defender. I've got my high center or my brass skid from the Defender. I've got the wheels and tires I had bought for the Defender that killed the servo. One thing about the Meus kit, and I didn't realize it until well after the fact, I ordered extended axles. Didn't realize it. This is the steering link for the Meus kit. When I had this installed, my front tires were so pigeon-toed, it wasn't funny. So I have a weak point on my front suspension right now that I will figure out. And that figuring out is just really going to be me getting some material to bend in a manner to fit what I need. So, if you can't tell, there's a hard crest on this, and it literally is designed to screw on and then contour to the chassis. All right. So you can see I've got a little scallop going on. Time to copy it over to this one. And I'm well aware that the graphics aren't going to perfectly match going side to side, and that's fine. This is like a two-face rig. All right. All right. So, everything now masked off. Let me find my black paint. That's the new black. Where's my old one that's already mixed? Oh, there it is. So, we'll start with the roof panel. It's the smallest and the easiest. Do I want my hexes? Yeah, we're gonna go sideways. You see how we got a fade within the fade. Of course, I blacked out the front lip. Get off my finger. And now the fun sides. All right, we're gonna let this dry off a little bit. And we'll start unmasking here in a second. And because this is all pre-mixed, I can put it back in the bottle without feeling guilty. All right. So we'll start with the first panel. How cool does that look? So I got the blacked out leading edge fading with my honeycomb. So I had a little piece flake up, but I think this came out pretty damn good. Now for the moment of truth, if my side panels got screwed up. Yep. That's what I was trying to avoid. That's what I was trying to avoid. So, this paint failure and if anybody's wondering, yes, I did prep these. I gave them a quick wipe down with alcohol. Figured there was enough bite on the nylon for the paint to adhere. Obviously not. But you know what? Where's my little tiny screwdriver? And bag o' bolts. So, my only complaint with this kit the body is held on by those little guys. Oh man. Oh man. That, aside from up here, doesn't look too bad. And in all honesty, where the wear is, works out really good. Because that would be where people are leaning in, crawling in and out of the rig. You know? So let's set this in place. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's just a mashup of colors, and it's just going to look awesome. Guys, I don't want to admit how long this took. Um, if y'all remember this build, I struggled a little with the shocks, and it's just because of the placement of the mounts. The material used on those shock mounts far better than the material used on these. But it's together ish. Um, I've got to put some screws under the hood because it shouldn't open. I'm not happy with the way the shock towers are sitting. Damn, how good does that hood look? The grill came out more pink, but outside of that, this thing looks sweet. The servo I have on here will not stay on here. I will get a little bit larger servo. Mia sells a light kit for this. It's the light bar and the headlights. Much like this came with it. And if anybody's wondering, there's only like a $5 difference between this chassis and this chassis. And in all honesty, as sweet as this looks, I think I'd rather have another one of these. The build was way more enjoyable. The harder plastic that they used for this cage just went together better. It didn't use Phillips screws everywhere like this one does. All these little black dots are Phillips head screws. And I don't know where my Phillips of one of these went. So I've been using this little thing. Okay? This thing is absolutely tiny. And hand cramps for days. I had to bust out this one to get my shocks on. Absolutely miserable. But I'm stoked with how this came out. Might paint this hood up. Might. We'll see. But yeah. What do you guys think of that? Like, I know I'm missing paint because it peeled. But check out that fade. Okay. I've got the red at the front of the panel going into the orange, into the yellow. And then inside, you can just kind of see it with the graphic. This side, for some reason, the graphic doubled, but it gave it a cool effect. It's kind of almost 3D like. And for some reason, my black paint over this red, and I was trying to lay it heavy, gave us this black cherry. Okay. I'm sure if I put a few more coats of black down, it would darken it up to be black. But I dig the color. And with all the other colors going on this looks like a King of the Hammers truck that's caught fire, been beat to hell, and I love it. I'll show you guys how it sits. I think it's a little high for my liking, but I'm looking at my links and they're pretty flat until the dip downs. So we'll take a look at that real quick. The semi-functioning hood. So on that panel, it's hard to see, but there's little tabs on the front and back to hold the hood down. And when it's down, the big issue is I'm hitting my shock towers. But see what I was saying, how my lower links are pretty flat in comparison. Like, that's almost 2 fingers of clearance. I still have travel. I don't have any down travel, which is not good. I just popped my servo out, messing with it. Yeah, this is a little Emax. I know it's got the guts to move this wheel and tire setup. It just, I don't think it's big enough. So, as you can see, ton of deformation on the tire up front. So we have brass mofo links, this aluminum housing, front and rear. Yeah. I've got my brass center skid off the Defender. The Defender's going to end up like full custom chassis, so none of this stuff will get reused. These are the wheels and tires I bought for the Defender. And yeah, ciao, we got a flat. It's not a flat spot, it's just, it might be. There's a lot of weight on the front end of this. But I like it. If I had to do this again, I absolutely would not do another ripper. As cool as the ripper looks, all hail the MB-18 and the Warhammer truck. It sits lower, and this doesn't even have near as much weight as that. That's on stock shocks, and as you can see, they are kicked back as far as I could kick them. These are aftermarket shocks with softer springs, laid all the way back. It's pretty much a full droop setup. The only weight on the back of this is my ESC. There's no oil in these shocks yet. I should run oil in them. I don't. I do want to try to strip this and repaint it, but in terms of buggies, like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it yet. I'm not going to run this. I might not even run that one anymore either. There is an adapter plug for the Traxxas batteries, which I've got to find mine. It was there, now it's not. So with this, most people just mount their ESC under the interior panel, and then battery in the back, and it's easy to pop the panel on and off. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go get some more Radio Link receivers to install, because that has one, that needs one, that needs one. And instead of buying like the big one I have in that, I'm just going to buy a combo pack of like their micros and call it good. 4-channel, call it a day. That literally only needs 3 channels to operate. Lights, motor, servo, right? Lights, motor, servo. Lights, motor, servo. So keep it simple, keep it sweet. I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there.